Yo, it's me. Yeah, I'm just here to say some things about morality. Uh, so I'll preface this by saying one thing I've never been able to understand about atheism is how you can really have a true objective morality in it. Like, you can, what do you base right and wrong off? If we're just like what? We're just intelligent animals, basically. We're not really, if there's no God, we're just not any different from like a human and like a microbacteria. There's no anything inherent that makes a human more important than any other creature without a creator like God. But they always seem to have the irony is a lot of them are like humanist, like they're all for things like the human rights and stuff. Yeah, do what you want, that's good, but don't do these other things we don't like, you know. Like, you know, I saying the same words 2 times in a row, or phrase whatever. Without God, it is basically impossible to have a truly grounded objective morality. You can have a subjective one, you can have your opinion, but without God, it's not any more valid than anyone else's. Being very subjective has losing our objectivity in regards to morality and being like, you do you, girl, or whatever. You do you, queen. You do you, fella, has led to some of the absolute worst atrocities of the modern era that we just don't talk about because it's convenient. That's another thing. Without having a really objective morality based in God and a creator, well, I guess God, you know what I mean, audience. Without having an objectively grounded sense of good and evil, perhaps maybe a better word, it's just gonna continue to change. You're like 100 years ago, the societal morality is a lot different from what it is now. But but if your opinions of right and wrong simply don't have any real weight, they're just, they're just going along with the times, then who is it to say that what they were doing 100 years ago or whatever time period ago is any more or less valid of moral expression than what you're doing right now? Like Ethan might get this if you're watching. I don't need to say it, but you know what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I think that's like the importance of that's like, I think just atheism doesn't really have a truly satisfying answer to morality. It just, that's because God's not real or whatever. The moral implications would not be particularly good if you're into things like liberty, freedom, human rights, because with no objectivity, like what is right and wrong? Seriously, try to do it. Think about it. Like, what is right and wrong without objectivity? Like, you may have a distaste for violence, but without objectivity about it, who's to say it isn't right for you to harm those to teach them a lesson or something like that? You may dislike, what's another thing? You may dislike drug use and think it's wrong, but you can't really, without objectivity about it, you can't really tell someone, hey, stop doing that because it's morally wrong. It's just, like, you can say it's bad for society, whatever that means. You can say it's bad for your health, but you can't really have, and I think you can't really have that sense of right and wrong for the sake of right and wrong. You simply have, well, that's bad because it's not good for society, or it harms others, and that's not good for society. And really what you're left with when you really boil it all the way down is you're left with every man for himself, essentially, and complete and a total depravity of, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the 5th degree of depravity. Because at that point, well, hey, there's no God. I'm just a animal on the earth. I'm just a creature of the earth. I'm going to go and do whatever it takes to gain every bit of pleasure I can before I die. Right? You understand how bad that is? And, that's and I think the most valid expression of morality is Catholicism. I may have mentioned this earlier today. I think I did. Yeah, I think that's just particularly the most valid expression of morality. And so I think it's, another thing is I think it's all about the truth. And like, you shouldn't just do things because it benefits you or it makes you feel good. You should do things because it's right and it's true, which are basically, they're synonyms in this case. So, I hope you understand. This was not the original video that I planned, but I just haven't had the time to make that one. So, I'm rocking with this one of explaining my opinions on morality and how it can be defined and how it's really not possible to have real morality, real moral standards without a belief in God. Or, sorry, without a belief in God. That's without God, period. So anyway, yeah, have a good one. All my, I guess, truth speakers and truth adjacent individuals. And whoever else is out there, I hope this makes you closer to that.